Lucky Mog passed along your message. I would have hated to miss all this mud.
Why does the Princess of Solitude grace my humble hall with her royal presence? Are you here on behalf of the High King?
I've come to warn you, Jarl Redharn.
Warn me? I already received orders from your father. What more is there to say?
Orders? Right. But you need to prepare the hold's defenses.
And what must we defend ourselves against this time? More urns and fetishes?
Please, Jarl Redharn, let my friend explain. The threat to our holds is worse than you can imagine.
You're not the subject of this realm, and that woman with you. She's the Giantess of the East. The High King warned us to beware of packed spies. If Princess Svanna trusts you, however, you have my ear. Tell me about this threat. We're not Daedra worshippers. Our blood's hot enough to boil a blizzard, and we've got more pressing concerns than some northern squall. We received Svargrim's orders, promptly ignored them, and immediately ran afoul of a gaggle of Reachmen. The High King sent a royal decree, said to leave any strange objects or fetishes we spotted around the hold alone. They were dangerous, he said. Just so happens we found a few. I had my soldiers destroy them. That's when we encountered the Reachmen. The barbarians reacted poorly when we destroyed the strange witch sticks. We beat them back and chased them into the nearby barrow. But that was the last I heard from my soldiers. Since you dealt with this before, would you investigate the barrow? If I were a few years younger, and had more soldiers to spare, I'd march east to the Morthal Barrow and deal with the sorceress nonsense myself. But I'm not. I don't. And I have other responsibilities. Take this key. It will get you into the barrow. They were tall, ugly things, covered in strange runes, fetishes, and a poultice that smelled like rotting fungus. They had been set up around the town. My soldiers assumed they'd find one at the barrow, but instead they sent word of the Reachman. Really? Last I heard, the princess was more interested in... No, I won't indulge in idle gossip. Svanna carries herself well. Not with the grace of her mother, but she has the swagger of a warrior. I wish I could say the same about my daughter. Had. She was taken from us 5 years ago. If I had pushed her harder, she might have had the strength to survive. Daughters are a father's greatest weakness. Enough troubles of the past. We have the present to concern ourselves with.
See that mound? That's the barrow. The entrance will be down below.
Keep back! The barrow is unsafe.
Jarl Redharn sent us. What happened here?
Reachman, let's talk if you want details. You, sir! The barrow is off limits. We are here to make sure nothing gets in or out, and will do so by any means necessary. I did not want to spare the soldiers I'd left to send a message. We destroyed a number of strange sticks set up on the outskirts of town. Then we reached the barrow. We spotted a few Reach barbarians. I sent word and we charged after them. A storm appeared in the barrow, if you could believe such a thing. It was foul magic, almost certainly. Soldiers began changing around me, dying or falling into a stupor. Some turned into monsters, and then the Draugr clawed out of their graves. We never made it that far inside, and when the storm hit, it was all I could do to get out and seal the door behind us. If the Jarl sent you, and you're intent on entering the barrow, I won't stop you. But if you emerge as a monster...
Those bodies... they're the Jarl's soldiers.
A meager harvest. This grey reliquary must be moved to more fruitful fields. Protect the witch pike. Do not let them destroy it.
That's done. Let's tell the Jarl what happened here. If I never have to enter another barrow, it will be too soon. No sign of that witch or the reliquary she ran off with. We should get back to the Jarl's Hall. We saw the last stand of what could have been a much larger attack on Morthal. The witch pike in the barrow was the only one that wasn't destroyed before they performed the ritual. Soldiers were caught in the Harrow Storm, but the town was spared. That's what happened in Kilcreath after the storm hit. I'm more curious about the witch, though. Why was that grey reliquary important enough for her to grab it and run off as soon as she spotted us? Come on, let's go talk to Jarl Redharn.
There's trouble in Hafengar. Something about a strange storm at Kilcreath Temple. Priests and pilgrims were wiped out.
Poor sods. I heard Jarl Redharn has ordered the soldiers to search the hold. They wonder what they're looking for.
And then Mog threw up. All over this Sword Thane's boots.
Ha! This orc friend of yours sounds... Ah, your companion's returned. Well, friend of Svanna, are you as good as your word? Tell me what you discovered at the Morthal Barrow. A Harrow Storm. Like the thing the princess was telling me about? The thing that destroyed Kilcreath? Gods! A pox on the Reach and its barbarian horde! What else? What about the Reachman in the barrow? Disappointing, but not unexpected. Reach witches are a tricky lot. Still, you have my thanks. In the meantime, Hjalmar shall prepare for war. We may not have a defense against the Harrow Storms, but we can be ready to attack once we have a target.
With you and Lyris's help, we've gained the trust of Jarl Redharn. My father respects the Jarl. That will go a long way in convincing the High King to take the Coven's threat seriously. Now we need to do the same thing at Carthald. Jarl Ulfwen rules the Hold, which was established to provide a defensible border against the Reach. If any of the Western Holds can deal with this threat, it's Carthald. But first, I have one more thing to discuss with Jarl Redharn. Jarl Redharn, prepare your forces as you say, but we need you in Solitude.
Solitude? I have troubles here in Hjalmarch. Why should I leave when my hold needs me?
High King Svargrim won't listen to us, but he might listen to you.
Get up, Princess. If you think it will help, I'll talk to your father.
Lyris, please escort the Jarl to Solitude.
Of course. What about you?
We need to warn Jarl Ulfwen, so we're going to Carthal.